All right, we're live. We are
We're
live.
alive.
Hello.
Hello, gentlemen. How we doing?
And we're alive.
And we're always alive, baby.
We're living.
So tonight we have to talk about. Well, actually, Dylan wants to just brag about all the concerts he's been to and the concerts we have not.
We
been
have
to
to talk about this. It's a big
So,
deal.
I brought it up
Um,
because we couldn't
this
think
is
of
his-
things to talk
Well,
about.
that's way to lead in.
That's the truth.
There's the lead in, huh?
Yes.
We're just so entertaining.
Oh.
What?
It just came on right then.
That's okay. You all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this audio like a hawk. This
Okay,
week.
you need and watch your hands.
It had nothing to do with that. Okay, I'd
I
like
think
to
it
confirm.
did.
It did not.
I think it did.
Okay.
But yeah. Main reason I want to bring it up is I went to a concert last night
Oh, really?
in Sacramento. Yeah.
You were in Sacramento
I was in
last night?
Sacramento, drove
Wow.
home, got home like 1. I went and saw Bandmade.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
You do like them.
It
Was
was
it-
awesome.
It was a good show.
Yeah, they're a Japanese like metal group. I got
Did you
there.
go by yourself?
So I got the ultimate VIP UI.
Whoa.
Yeah.
For $30?
It was cheap, but it wasn't $30. It was like when I bought it,
3,000.
I think it was like 160. Because I bought it like straight from them. They had like a, pre-sale if you're
Not Ticketmaster where they
Yeah.
tack on $75 in service fees.
exactly. But so I got there to Sacramento at 2 p.m. I started lining up at 3:30. They didn't let us until 6:45, and I was still the third row back. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty big.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it was just a lot of fun, and I wanted to hear what your guys' concert experiences were. Because I would say out of all the concerts I've been to me, Bandmade is probably one of the funnest, along with Matt and Kim. I've never listened to them after I saw them live, but their concert experience was so much fun. Like they had a giant inflatable beach ball that they put out in the
Matt and
crowd.
Kim.
They're like an alternative,
Yeah, they have. It's that song called Daylight. or
maybe.
something?
Like I said,
They have like one that really blew up.
Yeah.
I know that. But
But yeah, so I wanted to hear your guys' experiences.
I went to the EDM festival about 3 years ago and saw Imagine Dragons.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
No,
I thought that's how he was going to react. No, I've been to Warp Tour, and that's it for a
weren't
festival.
you asleep on?
And I did fall asleep at Warp Tour. I went to the amphitheater. I found a shaded spot, and I was the merch guy.
he had
I went
a
with it.
polo and khakis on.
That's right.
And like, I want to say like some loafer type shoe.
Yeah, who knows?
It was still a good
boat
time, though.
shoes.
Boat shoes, probably, yeah.
Did you go see any of the bands?
Oh yeah, definitely.
MC Lars.
That's
I
right.
remember you really wanted to see that guy for some reason.
Because my friend had been to Warp Tour, I think the year before, and he loved him, and he was just like an interesting cat.
That guy he had a smaller set. It was like
Very,
there's, like, only,
one of
like,
those smaller venues.
20 people maybe in his audience, but like he was super interactive with everybody. And like
Because there's probably like what 30 concerts going on
at any given time, yeah, there's a lot going on.
Seemingly, I mean, like there was at least 100 bands there, right?
Yeah, that was right when that one band really started to blow up. Oh god,
Black Veil Brides.
Black Veil Brides. That's when they like really like started. So that was what you could tell everybody was really there for that band. And I never really was a fan of Black Veil Brides, but
There
the
was
show is
there was a
pretty good.
girl too, like that's really popular now. That was there.
BB Rexa.
BB Rexa.
BB Rexa was there
Wow.
that year, yeah, and she actually only had like 50 or so people in her audience, and it was before she like really blew up. But I remember thinking like, oh, this girl's pretty good, and then like a year later, that's when she had her first like big hit
with
But, yeah,
G-Eazy, right?
I forget who, but she's done something with him. But her first big hit was like I think that Hey Mama song with Nicki Minaj. Yeah,
Oh, was that before the G-Eazy one? Okay.
I think so.
Hmm.
Yeah.
David Guetta did a remix of it.
Hey
you go.
Mama.
You're doing something right if he's remixing your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then what's that guy? The tiptoeing in my Jordans guy.
Oh God.
What is the
Oh.
tiptoeing in my Jordans?
Dude,
You know
who
I
is
don't
that
know
guy?
that one.
Who is that guy?
Forget his name, but we're looking it up right now. He
Riff Raff.
Riff Raff. Yeah. So Riff Raff, Matthew really wanted to see Riff Raff, but we were like, like it was all this hype. So we're like, Riff Raff's gonna be like a super fun set because apparently he's this big party guy.
Yeah, pretty
you
much
know.
everyone was like rock and metal, and then there was this guy Riff Raff who's not that.
And he
Shows
comes
up
out.
20 minutes late to a
His
25-minute
set
set.
is supposed to start at like 7:00. He shows up at like 7:25,
Oh,
plays one song,
One.
and then leaves.
oh.
And he
So
had the
bad.
biggest crowd, and everyone was kind of like, "What? It's over."
Dude, it was so
It
bad.
was the worst.
That reminds me. So we have a local casino here, and a lot of big people come there. G-Eazy came one time, and I had been to his previous concerts there, and he did at least like 3 or 4 songs, and it was like that's fine. He was there mostly to party, but at least he crowd pleased. So one time showed up, he was already drunk, you could tell. He played one song, and then he played it again.
Oh, no.
Same one.
And then he was done. And I was like, oh my
He
God.
played 2 songs, 1 song total.
Yes, but he just
Wow.
replayed the first song.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
You know, we saw Baby Bash at his bachelor party. Yeah, we didn't even know. We
Yeah.
went to a nightclub and they're like, "Oh, it's actually gonna be double charged tonight." We're like, "Why?" And they're like, "Baby Bash is playing tonight." We're like, "What?" And we got
That's
there.
the people who do that did the soundtrack for the Cyclone song. She moves her body like,
like a cyclone.
But the part
cyclone.
that they have, so all the guys are on stage, they're not singing because it's not their part.
Yeah.
Do you know what part they have?
Probably the
So you're watching 3 grown men or whatever it is, literally just make that noise on repeat. It was
that was
astonishing
for one song. But I mean, Baby Bash has some hits. He also had the "Shorty, how you get so fly."
Oh.
fly.
So, do you know what time they came on? Maybe this is me being just old. They came on at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And they played till like they actually had a long set. Baby Bash did. I mean, he's one guy, not they. But like he had a long set, and by then though, I was so tired, and I was like, "This,
Dude.
I'm not even having a good time."
But it was the same weekend as the celebrity golf tournament, and so I got to see Jerry Rice. Like, I'm a huge
Was he there?
49ers fan.
He was
right
there that night,
He was
yeah.
right next
Big
to
fan
us.
of Baby Bash.
No, he was promoting the club.
Oh.
They were promoting it with like, here's your cover charge. Don't forget Jerry Rice is in there. And you're like, what? Okay,
What?
but I was like, what? And then I saw him, and I'm like, that's fucking Jerry Rice. Like,
Justin
wow.
Timberlake was apparently there like at one point, but we never saw him.
Wow.
There was like Anthony Lynn, head coach of the Chargers at the time.
What was
there's
that?
There's a bunch of like celebrities there.
So yeah, that was kind of an odd night. We weren't planning that at all. It just kind of like showed up there, and then we were like, "What do you mean it's like, because the club had said it was like a $30 admittance fee, and then like they were like, actually it's gonna be $60 per person." And we're like, "What?" And then Baby Bash is playing tonight. We're
It's like, dang.
okay.
Yeah, it was probably because of the golf tournament, to be honest, because that's like one of the biggest events up there. I just remember because I don't obviously really drink. And I remember I was going ham on the dance floor. Just totally sober.
dude,
just going
To
nuts.
Baby Bash.
And it took these guys like 3 hours to get drunk enough to even have the courage to start dancing. And by then I was exhausted.
This
So
guy
we ended up
had a
leaving.
whole group of bachelorettes all dancing around him.
Wow.
And he was full Sigma, just ignoring them, and they were like trying to like dance up on him, and he's just like, "I don't care, I'm having a good time."
Dude, I was jamming. And what's funny is like they had like bachelorette bingo or whatever. And it was very strange. There was like a one of the girls, I think the bride to be, she like was like, "Can I kiss your head?" That was like she had to kiss a bald guy on the head or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Lady, I am sweating my ass off." And she's like, "I don't care." I'm like, "Okay." She just kissed my head and we went back to dancing. I'm like, "So weird." It's the weirdest
Meanwhile,
thing ever.
Me and his
They're-
like 4 other guy friends all just sitting on
In the corner.
Literally the most. It was
Nice.
the most. Yeah.
I didn't want to
These
go
guys.
clubbing to begin with. I got dragged along. I had a good time. Don't get me wrong, but
It's not up to you. It was my weekend. Okay, so you should have been a part of it.
you
Yeah.
didn't really feel like going clubbing either. In fact, if I remember right, you kind of got peer pressured into doing it, and then you're still the one that had a good time.
That's right. You make lemonade, Kyle.
Lemonade.
So yeah, Baby Bash is about the extent of my concert.
I think the moral of the story is don't go see. If you're going for a concert, don't go to a nightclub.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I went same place where I saw G-Eazy. They had Marshmello, and I worked the next day.
That would
It
be
was
cool.
it was a work day, right? And I was like, he'll probably come on. I can leave maybe like 2 songs early. Comes on, like not 1, but it was like 12 p.m. And I was like,
Dude, please.
really? I work tomorrow, and it said start time was like 8. So I was there from 8, and it was this crappy DJ.
I went to Phoenix. That's literally one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to because it was at a large venue and we had a
I love
booth.
Arizona also.
What? Oh yeah, not Arizona. Phoenix was a French band. They used to be Daft Punk. They split up. And one stayed Phoenix. The rest went Daft Punk. But anyway, so it was in the ballroom and we had a booth and it was awesome because they would like serve drinks if you wanted to get some and you could sit down. It was air conditioned. You weren't like bumping up against people. And it was the longest concert of my life. It started at 6. They had 6 or 7 bands. And they had they finished at 1:00 in the morning, and it was the same. I had a final at 8 a.m. the next morning, and I was like hoping it was going to
Wow.
end early. But Joan Jett and the
Black Hearts.
Black Hearts was there. She did her songs, a couple songs.
I
Alt
love
J.
rock and roll.
Have you ever heard of Alt J?
Got
No.
my left hand free.
Terraplane's son, who has "Get Me Golden Alone." They have that's like their one hit. They have a couple other ones. Phoenix, and then a couple other. Cage the Elephant.
Wow.
That's a really good lineup, actually.
Dude, yeah. And there was
How
like,
could you not know Alt J? That's the band that had the music that first introduced Peter in Civil War.
how dare you?
You're not a true Spider-Man fan.
I
It's an embarrassment. No, I am much more like I don't like I'm gonna stand next to. Oh, and I have seen Fleetwood Mac. I watched that. I went to a conference. Fleetwood Mac.
You can go your own way.
That was exciting. We were in the Giants Stadium on the grass, and it was their last venue. Probably, well, actually, as a group now, forever because they're dead. And
This guy he doesn't go to.
he doesn't go to concert yet. Listen.
no, I was at a. I did this. I didn't pay for this. I was at a convention that had Fleetwood Mac at it. So, which was awesome.
The rules weren't
And-
you paid for it. It was just a concert you went to.
And that was really kind of neat because I was with a bunch of older people that were just like falling in love with all their songs. And we were on the field, so nobody was like butt humping you. You just could enjoy the music.
Honestly, one of my favorite musical experiences. I'm not even like being like ironic or like sarcastic. Casey and the Sunshine Band. They played Hot August Nights in front of one of the casinos here. Crowd of like close to 1,000 people, but it was big open parking lot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad. It was free, and they put on a show, dude. It was just full on like vibing like boogie party. It was so fun, and that was really good. Also, I took my wife. We're still like a young couple to Pentatonics.
That
was
would've been
a
cool.
That was a fun show too, and that was back when they still had like their original core group. And that was a lot of fun. Like I love like they did all those Daft Punk covers too.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah.
No, I think I think I'm much more of like a piano bar, like small setting type person. If
I definitely
like to
agree.
go listen to live music,
I like assigned seating,
for sure.
and I want to be able to pay my way to the front.
I used to like laugh at the people
You
that
like to buy to win.
I used to
Well-
laugh at people that like bought seats for a show, and then like as you get a little bit older, and you're like, I just want a place to sit.
Well,
you know,
see,
like
I like assigned seating if that's the type of show. Otherwise, if there's a general admission floor, I don't want to sit because I don't feel like I'm in the concert anymore. But if it's like I went to Lindsey Sterling and they had it was in Mountain View, California, and it's like the Panasonic Stadium or something like that, and it was all assigned seating. You could actually see everything. You didn't have to worry about some dude being taller than you standing in front of you. No, you could see everything, and I just really like that.
That's nice.
And it was, it was shaped to where it went, as it went further back, they went up. So it's like,
It's like a bowl.
yeah,
Yeah.
instead of
I always worry though,
concerts
like,
where it's like
if you do
flat.
if you do have assigned seating and then the person in front of you stands up.
I think that's where Warped Tour was that year, and that's
Yeah?
literally the
It was
stadium
exactly that.
that he fell asleep.
Oh, really? That was a nice stadium.
That Mountain View, California, Google complex is right next door. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Warped Tour was. But they had like
That was a nice stadium.
it wasn't just that stadium. They had
there's like
they
a-
built
it's
stadiums
big.
all around. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
that was a cool show for sure.
Yeah. What about best show you've like number one show you've ever been to?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Not because it was like super entertaining, it was just super comfortable. I could just sit down. I was in a booth. It was like it was a whole night of music.
How close?
It
were you?
wasn't I don't know, 40 feet, 50 feet. It's not too bad.
And like you could, was it
There's
kind of
nothing
layered?
obstructing.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they had the stage was below, and they had like the pit or whatever, like where people can go down if they wanted to, and like be involved in that type of crowd if they wanted to feel the energy of people, jumping around. But we were the first row of all the booths, and it was right there. And we just because
Nice.
I was in first in line, I was able to not first in line, but one of the earlier ones there. I was able to get in and grab a booth, and it was no problem whatsoever. It was phenomenal. And I at the time that was my favorite band, and the fact that like this French band was touring in our fucking little town, I'm like, are you serious? Like, sign me up. This is so cool.
Sign me up.
It was so funny because this is how bad I am with names. Ready? It was my favorite band. I had all their music liked, and
Phoenix?
Yep, Phoenix, and I didn't know their name. This is how
You
I
didn't know
am.
the band
I
name?
didn't really know the band name because then my buddy, he's like, dude, you won't even believe it. Phoenix is coming. And I'm like, oh, really? Who's that? And then
Oh my
he's
God.
like, dude, what are you talking about? And so like he plays like their song, 1901. And I'm like, this is my favorite band.
Their name's Phoenix.
It's like, dude, I listen to these guys all the time. He's like, dude, I know. Like every time we drive together.
You don't even know he's probably so confused. Like, is this the guy that likes Phoenix?
I thought
That's just how I am, because like especially with all this, like, because I used to do that with YouTube Music. I would build my playlist, or now I definitely do with Spotify and stuff like that, where I'll like stuff, and I don't ever pay attention to the name of the songs. There's a song that I listen to. It's called like Thin Mints, and Rana's like, it was on my dashboard or whatever. My wife's like, what is Thin Mints? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, like the chocolate or whatever. And it was
my
a song I'd
God.
probably listened to like 16 times within a 3-4 week span.
You're also bad with lyrics though, so like
So bad because it just doesn't. I don't know. That's something
you
I'm
feel
really
the
bad
song,
about.
you don't listen to it.
I'm very
Emotions.
detached from the
Oh.
the art, and the artists are so detached from me. Like, and that is unfortunate for the artist, but for me, I just appreciate the work. Like, I'm never that guy that like, they just dropped an album. Like, I'm not gonna listen to your album. I'm gonna listen to the one song that I like from that album, potentially.
potentially. But how are you gonna know if you have a song on that album that
See,
you like?
I'm not that musically motivated. Like, music doesn't drive me to where I have to always be listening to music. I'm much more of a podcast guy. So
I only listen to ours.
on repeat.
I
half
am-
speed.
Yeah, I don't.
I am our tens of viewers.
Yeah, I don't listen to. I don't know. I like music. Don't get me wrong. I like music, but it's not something that like I can go like a week without listening to music and not even notice.
I have
Easily.
music
I can't.
pretty much going all like if
Yeah.
I'm in my office, that door shut, I have music going when I'm working.
I drive in silence.
Okay, that's you
weird.
serial killer.
Mm-hmm. It's my one time of like
Like
disconnecting. from
Ryan
everything.
Gosling looking all
Yeah.
serious driving.
It's my one time to fully disconnect from the world.
While driving, that seems a little dangerous.
You're
supposed to be aware.
Shut my eyes and let the road take me
I let
away,
the road
baby.
drive me.
No, I don't listen to anything. I also don't drive that much too, so you gotta.
It's
you
true.
know, so
I do listen. I'm weird. I have to in the morning. I can't listen to music. I have to listen to podcasts. But on my way home, I'll listen to music.
It depends how awake
Interesting.
I am in the morning. If I'm pretty awake, I can listen to music. But if I'm still like kind of waking
Groggy.
up, it's either silence or podcast.
No.
I think I just exist at like such a chill
Oh my god.
energy level. I don't know.
No, just some people are more musically inclined, or like music is a bigger deal to certain people. I don't know why.
I tailor my music to my mood too. If I'm in a good mood, I find
Yeah,
I
see,
have a
I've
good mood
never-
playlist. If I'm in a melancholy mood, I got a melancholy
Yeah.
playlist.
I
you
have
know?
all sad voice.
It's all sad boy
Sad
energy.
boy energy.
24/7.
25. I also my list of genres that I can get behind is very expansive. I could probably find something I like in every genre. Doesn't mean I like every genre, but I could find something I like in every genre.
No, I'm super weird. Like I'll find like 3 to 5 songs that I really enjoy, and I'll have those like on my liked playlist, and I'll play those. You know, if I do get in the car, that'll get me. If I do listen to music, that'll get me to where I need to go with those 3 to 5 songs. So I'll just listen to those on repeat.
Sometimes I'll be in the parking lot at my work, and I'll be creating a playlist for the drive home. Like I'll actually
Wow.
I don't just put it on. I have like I want to listen to this song, then this one, then this one, and I create like a little playlist, and then I go. I'll spend like 10 minutes sometimes just doing that.
I kind of just play it, and then if I don't like it, I skip until I find one.
Sometimes I like Spotify's DJ is cool, but sometimes I feel like he thinks I'm really into something that I'm not. I'm just kind of into.
Yeah.
You know, and like he just I don't know. I'm saying he because he has a traditionally masculine voice, I guess.
His name's
DJ,
Axe.
DJ Axe. But like sometimes I'm like I listen to like one country song and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna get you something to get your vibes going.
Yeah.
It's called The Country Backyard or whatever. And then I'm like, I don't want to listen to 10
You're like, okay, Axe.
country songs in a row, you know, like
And then you hit the switch. All right, I'm gonna switch it up here.
Yeah, I feel like Spotify actually does a really bad job of their playlists. I think Pandora's far superior in their playlist.
I don't use it anymore, but YouTube Music, just clicking my super mix was way better than
I've
any-
never tried that. Huh.
So YouTube Music, at least on the app,
Okay.
you would just click my super mix and it plays everything that it thinks you'll like. It's not like anything fancy, but you click that and it never failed me. It always was good. I don't have really that in Spotify. I haven't found anything that really does that for me.
My favorite thing about Spotify though is probably the release radar and the Discover Weekly.
Yeah.
I consistently listen to those on Friday and Monday, and I look forward to them.
And release radar is what, like things that just came out?
Every Friday, it's bands you listen to. Most of the time, it is bands you like. Sometimes, if there's not enough new songs, they'll like put in like, oh, you might like this one, or it sounds similar. But most of the time, it's bands you like and their new songs. And so that's how I learn about new albums, new stuff like that. Is just I don't really follow the band, but they show up on my release radar, and I'm like, oh, they released a new album.
That's pretty cool. I do like the follow option of a band, and so they'll alert you if they're in the area or something like that.
Yeah, like
That's kind of neat.
that's how I learned. Glitch Mob is coming to Reno
Again?
Honestly,
again.
We're going.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't know
go to
anything
that one.
from Glitch Mob except for their cover of
Seven Nation,
Seven Nation
Army.
Army. That's the only one I know.
They have
Glitch Mob.
actually a pretty good list of stuff.
Because of the G.I. Joe trailer.
Exactly. So Kyle,
They've come to our place like a bunch of times.
yeah, I went and saw. I've seen him once at Cargo. That was the best VIP experience I've ever had. First off, it was really cheap, and this concert that they're doing is also really cheap. I don't think they've ever hit like mainstream levels of popular, so that you can get those cheap VIP. But I bought the VIP. It was me and like probably 10 people. It wasn't a lot in Reno. 10 people bought that VIP. They took us back. We got to talk with the artists. chat with them. They brought us up on stage. They let us play their instrument, like the DJ set with the buttons and stuff. And they let us play it. They took pictures with us, and I was like, "This is cool." You know, when you go like, that's the thing with the Bandmade concert I went to. I got the ultra VIP, and
Yeah.
all that got me was 15 minutes early entrance to buy merch.
Oh my god.
And then I got it. I got in early, and
Wow.
I got like a goodie bag, and that was it. Because I guess they don't do meet and greets currently. Or
Remember
something
when
like
we
that.
went to Warped Tour and they charged you money for the map? They made you so there was like you didn't know who was playing where, and there was like a little map that showed who was playing where, and it was like $2.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it was the biggest ripoff.
Wow.
So his brother actually stole a bunch when no one was looking, and they handed them out to us. But it was the dumbest thing. Like they were charging people just to know where their bands are gonna play. I was like, talk about just really just
Grinding.
grinding for that money.
Okay, Kyle,
Ridiculous.
your favorite concert?
Oh man, I liked that Pentatonics concert because of the memories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was we were a young couple at the time, and
Where was that one at?
That was at the GSR.
Oh,
Yeah, that was at their theater.
that's a nice theater.
It is, yeah. I like more chilled, laid back environments. And one of the coolest shows I've been to, actually, not even a show. Like it was just like it was on a cruise ship. And it was this woman that was hired by the cruise line to just play guitar and cover music and
Mhm.
sing. And she knew everything. Like you go up and request something to her, and she always gave like this really cool acoustic version of it. That was really fun. Those are the types of environments I like as far as like music goes and stuff. And that was on our Alaskan cruise actually. My wife and I
wow.
were just eating dinner, and it was late at night. It was like we ate late. It was like 9:30 or 10, and she was just playing. And I actually like looked her up, and I was like, I wonder if she does anything. But she's like not really. She's just very small time. But I love stuff like that. Like
What songs did you request? Do you remember?
I didn't request anything, but she played everything from like she did like AC/DC covers. She did like country music. She even did like this acoustic version of what's that? Is it Swedish House Mafia? The Don't You Worry, Don't You
Yeah.
Worry.
Yeah.
She did like an acoustic version of that song, and it like they would just request
Wow.
a song, and she knew exactly how to make it sound good on guitar. It was.
Did she have to like look it up?
She did have an app that probably gave her like
The
probably
lyrics.
like sheet music
Yeah.
for it or stuff and lyric, but like it still she
Then
was
she
just able to
freestyled
just do
from
it.
there.
Yeah.
I had an experience kind of like that. I went to Vegas and on Fremont Street. I was out with friends and we went into one of, like I think it was a Golden Nugget, and we just happened upon this bar with like a piano player.
Yeah.
He was amazing. Same thing. You told him something, he would play it in a piano version, and it sounded so good. And those are a lot of fun because it's like you get to see how skilled somebody can be at one specific thing.
Yeah. Cruise ship shows, I think there's kind of like a stereotype to it that it's always kind of like B-rate stuff. But some of the best shows I've ever seen have been on cruise ships.
Dude, I disagree that it's B. That stuff is always.
Well, I'm saying that's what the
entertaining.
stereotype
I know.
is.
It's great.
Like,
I am
yeah.
agreeing with you. Like that's crazy to me that ever became a thing because, I mean, it may be because we just stick to the larger cruise lines, but I have never gone in and watched a show and been like, eh.
They've always been
It's
amazing.
impressive.
Like top tier talent.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's the same people that do like 8 different types of shows.
No.
And they all can sing and dance, and it's like really, really cool. Same kind of thing. I was on when we went on our Alaskan cruise. The band had been. It was like their first assignment on the Alaskan cruise line part, like I guess leg,
Yeah.
and so they wanted to experience Alaska as well. So they were on all of like the excursions.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
so you were just like talking to them and stuff. And like, I'll be at your show tonight, you know.
He's
Yeah.
like, great.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
no.
They have to constantly be like on just in
Yeah.
case someone sees them, so they're always like in a good mood. Like, oh sweet, can't wait to see you. I'll try and look for you in the crowd.
I also think cruise lines just like hire those types of people though, right?
Yeah, they want that energy.
Yeah.
They want that vibe, you know.
They don't want some
They
guy
don't
that's
hire
just
Debbie Downer.
disappointed.
Remember?
Some sad boy energy. Like you're in a bar. I hate myself today.
I hate myself.
I think that's a little different.
You
version.
remixed it.
Like there was one guy, we went on a cruise together and we went to the comedy shows. And sometimes the comedy shows, sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're super funny. But this one guy, like he was talking about like he did his whole set, he was killing it, he was funny, and then he's like, if you see me sunbathing tomorrow on the deck, do not talk to me. I'll be smoking my cigar and pretending no one exists. And we literally saw him like the next day out, like just sunbathing, literally smoking a cigar. And I was like, we can't talk to him. He said there's rules.
There's rules.
Yeah.
You could have broke them.
But yeah.
It's a good time.
Good
Traveling
time.
is fun.
Yes.
I know that again. Sometimes there's stereotypes of cruising, but it's my favorite
my
kind of
favorite.
vacation because once you're on, you can just shut your brain off and just have the best time.
You guys hype it up so much, and I'm so excited. I really
We
want to
do.
go on one.
So we should go
It
on
is-
one together.
It's the ultimate disconnect because I'm the guy. I don't know how everybody else is not like this, but I turn the phone off and I leave my wallet, my phone, all that shit in the room.
Yeah.
And I go on the boat and there's endless entertainment options. There's always something going on. There's a million things to eat and do and see.
Once
games
you're
to
on,
play.
like if you get like a drink pass, once you're on, everything's free.
Yeah.
Just is
And
what
I-
it is. You just go.
None of us are really that much into booze.
Yeah.
But like
I mean, you have to have, I think I did the math, and you have to have like something like at least 5 drinks a day before it like starts paying for itself.
That's a lot.
at least.
Yeah. And so like, I was
It's
like, I'm not,
expensive.
there's days where I don't drink at all, you know? So I'm like, I'm not going to buy a drink pass.
It's
But-
the way they price it is it's like $70 if you want the alcohol package, at least on Carnival. Everybody's different, but because we mainly do Carnival,
Yeah.
but we've done other lines too. But our favorite is Carnival. They've done it's like $70 a day, and everyone in your room has to get it,
That's
so that
weird.
you can't give out drinks.
Oh, okay, I get that.
I always do the soda package.
That to me is worth it. It's like $8 a day.
Yeah, if you have like it's like
three a
$8 a day. If you have like 3 sodas a day, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
So like I always do the soda package, but
Mhm.
but the alcohol package is more expensive. But that's like I mean buffet like.
But everything else is
restaurants,
included.
Fancy
all
sit
your
down,
entertainment,
it's all there.
your tips. Like you're not.
Well,
You're not
juices,
shelling out
coffee,
cash.
Like juices and coffees are like free, you know, but like then you can get like higher end coffee and pay for it. But
Yeah.
entertainment is always stellar. Like I've never like we're saying like we've never gone to a show and then be like, oh, that wasn't that good. We might have had good luck, but like they always have good performance, even on the small ones. Like even
Yeah.
on that 3-day cruise we went on, the shows were good.
Yeah, the
like-
comedy was some of the best stuff.
Yeah.
We now they're starting to do, which I think they've. I want to be them to be careful with, but they do like premium dining places where you have to pay extra for those. But usually,
They
the-
did
what,
that
What you're getting is compensatory, like compensatory
on
of like what you're paying.
Royal
Gotcha.
Caribbean. They did that, and we got like a premium. So there's the restaurants that was free every night. You basically you get assigned a restaurant to go to. You have the same table, the same waiter, same everything. But then they also have like these premium restaurants that are like it's an extra charge, a charge up. And we did that because like there was this really nice steakhouse that we went to that you pay extra for, but it's like it was worth it. And but the main thing is you could literally once you get on that ship, you can do your whole vacation without
Spending another dime.
spending another dime. Other
That's
than what you
nice.
already paid for.
And for me, like that disconnect, because I'm always thinking about money and spending money and stuff. That being able to completely disconnect from that and just go off of your instinct of, oh, I see that piece of food. Oh, I want to have a cookie, and you just grab it. It's so
See
satisfying.
cookie, eat cookie.
Exactly.
exactly.
And you find yourself truly feeling at vacation because everything is taken care of you. Like the days at sea are actually the best days because
Oh
you can
God,
go to
we're
the top.
on land.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you could go up top. Like the boat is traveling for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're not. You have nothing to worry about other than don't get hurt.
Don't jump off the
Don't
boat.
Jump off the
Yeah,
boat.
don't like
Um,
people think they're like. You see that all the time. People just jumping off the boats.
Did you see that recent like video of the guy that nobody found him? He like got dared to jump off the boat. He jumped off and
That's what we call that evolution at work.
yeah.
That's what
But
they
like
call
you
that.
can
Darwin
see a
award.
shark, a shark fin swim by him.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, it's scary. It's at night.
Probably like most of the people die on impact. They don't realize how high they are.
It was some smaller part he jumped off
Oh,
of.
okay.
Well,
Well,
you're like 100, like on the bigger boats, you're probably 150 feet off the water,
well, the one we went on in
I
Alaska
would think.
was called Ovation of the Seas, and it was 17 stories tall.
Yeah.
So like if you jump off the 17th floor,
Yeah.
like,
That's
not
170
like
feet, right?
The water becomes
Yeah.
concrete.
it's you're not
And
feeling fine.
let's not forget, like you're going 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. Oh, you're smacking it up pretty good.
Yeah, you could,
But-
most likely you're dead,
I
unless you're
can't-
like jumping from really low, and then there's like things at play. But like especially in Alaska, if you jump off, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like the water, like it's just not no.
I can't advocate for cruising enough. I think it's the ultimate vacation.
What about when you get stuck on a boat?
Never
I've
had
been
it.
stuck on a boat. When I was, we went on Carnival Dream or Breeze, like 7 years ago. Yeah, like 7 or 6 years ago. And there was a hurricane that came by and it destroyed the port like while we were gone. And the ship had no way to return. And we ended up finally getting rerouted to like New Orleans, which was like not anywhere near where we were supposed to dock. All it did was it extended the vacation. It went from like a 7-day cruise to like a 13-day cruise. And they had like, by the time we got off, they still had entertainment and food for days. Like it was still just like, we were fine. It was great. I heard it got a little rough for the people that decided to stay on because they gave you the option. They were like, if you absolutely have to get off at that port, you can stay on. And then it started to get a little, but they gave you the option to get off in New Orleans, which is what we did. And it was fine. You know, it was a good time still. They handled it very well. Of course, there was some panic because some people lived like in the town that the hurricane swept through.
Yeah.
So there was that, but they kind of like were able to keep everyone calm. There's no riots, nothing crazy. I do remember that's when I was working at Meadowood and everyone thought I was dead. They were like, what is going on with him? Because like I was
Gone for an extra week.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was gone for an extra week and I couldn't communicate to anyone because like their Wi-Fi was down too.
Oh.
And you have to pay for the Wi-Fi. But there's so many people using it. It was so bogged down because once they realized what was going on, they just let you have it for free. But there were so many people using it, you couldn't really use it. And so like I almost lost my job because like they thought it was like a job abandonment. And then I finally found a place that had service and I texted my manager and I was like, I'm stranded at sea, but I'm coming back, I promise.
Did you have to use extra PTO or?
I did, yeah. They made me use, which I was like, whatever. I mean, I was gone those days.
Yeah.
So.
But that is an extreme example. That like does not happen.
What about
regularly.
the COVID one? Wasn't there one with COVID and people pooped themselves and stuff?
They didn't poop themselves. I got COVID and they'll just shit all over themselves.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
There was when
That
COVID,
was COVID.
there was a COVID outbreak on a ship because it set sail like right as COVID happened.
And it was going to
And-
Japan, wasn't it?
Yeah, and somebody picked up COVID and it spread out through the entire ship.
And Japan didn't let it dock.
And Japan, the U.S., everywhere didn't let the ship dock, and so they were on a ship for
One
like,
of the worst handlings of the
it was
situation.
like 2 months, and they
They were running supplies and
They're
shit.
like-
It wasn't at a risk.
they
of-
weren't dying.
Yeah.
They
Anything.
were pooping themselves.
no, they were constantly.
I
being,
bet you they got a little less good service, and
they
that's
were
why people were pitching.
constantly
It
getting.
sounds like
stuff
Fire
supplied.
Festival, right? I had to wait 6 hours for a sandwich. It was the worst vacation of my life. Like, what was one of the weird? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
They were constantly getting supplies dropped in, and I mean, that would still suck. Like being stuck on a ship for that long, and not being
Absolutely.
able to go anywhere.
You're
But
definitely getting fired.
yeah, but
Could you imagine? You
Yeah.
have to call your boss, be like, "I'm on the. You seen the news?
I'm on that ship.
That's me."
I can't get off.
That is one thing that I wish was more available to cruise lines, especially with things like Starlink now. They should have higher end internet options.
Wi-Fi sucks on a cruise.
And now I would never use it, but that's all I hear is people complaining about it.
Some
and I
people
wish
work
they made it better.
from like if they work from
They
home,
live on
they'll
those
work
boats.
from ships. I've seen it. People do it,
Yeah.
and so that'd be tough because that Wi-Fi is not super reliable. But you can also pay for tiers of how good the quality
So
is.
they probably pay, and they figure out.
Yeah, but I'm
saving
definitely-
PTO.
I'm definitely not. If I'm on a cruise, I'm like you. I disconnect. And
Yeah.
Like on top of that, you're on most ships. You're not even in the U.S. for a lot of it, and so like you'd have to
Roaming.
pay your carrier more money.
Well, you
and,
know
like,
what's crazy? I
Are you afraid of boats? Is that why you were asking those questions?
no. I just remember there was a big story about it.
Did you poop your pants on a boat once?
No.
They called it the poop cruise from hell
That's what I
because like they had like scheduled bathroom times and stuff because they had to like really like regulate like but like I mean people were just shitting themselves like you make it so
Smearing it on the walls. We don't know what to do with it
we
anymore.
have no choice.
They were spelling
We're
right
reverting back into our primal selves.
just like someone's like covered in it.
No, it just sounds
God,
exactly
why?
like all that dramatization just sounds screams like Fire Festival. Where I watched that documentary and the only thing I thought was like, oh boy, a lot of rich kids flew to an island and they had to sleep in a tent. Like what? Nobody got hurt. Nobody died. The only person I felt bad for was the fucking lady that was catering, feeding all these people. But everybody was eating. Everybody was chilling. They were around other people. Like it was totally fine. They just didn't. They didn't get a cabana. They had a tent. Like, oh God. Sorry about it. Yeah. Anyway.
Crimea River.
poop cruise from hell.
Just imagine like
I know. I'm just like imagining like
uncontrollable shitting.
like the below decks are just filled with sewage.
It's slow. Decks 4, 5, and 6 are now blocked off due to the amount of poop.
but the buffet is now open again on
Buffet on deck
7.
7. Still going.
Join us on Lido deck. Keep eating, you fucking filthy heathens.
I mean, it was pretty bad though, because like some people were confined to their rooms. They weren't allowed to leave. Like, it was pretty intense. But
Oh, that
Yeah.
I definitely. It was definitely a shitty situation, and they didn't.
Unintended.
Like it definitely sucked because you're absolutely right. They had to stay in their rooms, which
Yeah.
they found out was worse because all the rooms are ventilated together.
yeah,
So it was like the worst situation that they could have done. There was so much to learn about it, and Japan did not handle it well at all. So
Just imagine you're stuck in there. The guy next to you is sick, and you just hear him. You're like,
oh, God.
shut up, Ben.
They don't fuck around on cruise ships, actually. Like I can't speak to your experience, but like they told like when we went on ours, this was like
After
a
COVID?
year ago after COVID. They said if you displayed COVID symptoms, you will be confined to your room for the rest of the trip. And so like if I felt like a little bit of a cough coming, I was like, I'm fine. I'm not gonna cough.
you do a little cough. They're like, hey,
Just get tackled.
yeah, take him back to the room.
Never again.
They
Can't
they
endure
said
more
that.
shit.
They said that, but no one in we had a group of 10 or 12 go, and no one got sick, so we were lucky.
Everybody's all.
But I doubt that that's probably still the case. I mean, I think now as a culture, we've probably gotten better of like, hey, I have the flu, maybe I shouldn't be out and about. I'm good. I just
They even before COVID though, they were always pretty strict on health. Like people would be confined to their rooms even before then if they had like a flu or something, because like
outbreak can happen.
an outbreak can happen,
Yeah.
especially on a ship, you know. So like that it just got more amplified when COVID happened, and it might have eased back a little bit, but
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough though. It's so much.
We should
fun.
plan one.
We should.
Should.
Let's do it, boys.
tonight.
Tonight.
All right, well, let's just take off.
You know
Yeah.
what? We're gonna end this
All
thing
right.
there.
See you guys.
Next stream will be from the ship.
with really crappy Wi-Fi.
And we're all like glitching out.
At least the audio didn't shit out on us.
That reminded me. I was gonna say before we went on, if I was scared about boats and the poop cruise from hell, Verizon. I just got a new.
ad or
Well, no, this is
Verizon. What are we talking about, Verizon?
just listen.
I love Verizon. I can't speak highly enough.
I got a new phone, and part of like they had a deal if I upgraded the plan. I upgraded the plan. It's only like $10 more, but the difference between my old plan and this one has free international calls and texting.
Your standard
Unlimited.
plan that you have right now?
Yeah, and I was like,
Wow.
I thought that was wild. I was like, wow, because I
Usually
just
you have to like call ahead and like buy days, right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I went to Japan, and you can use it, but it charges you. Or Japan offers. It's wild how sophisticated it is, but it's like as soon as you land there, you get a text. It's like, hey, welcome to Japan. You can rent this internet service while you're here. So I just thought it was wild seeing after coming back from Japan. Now it's like I didn't even need that. I guess I could have just used my regular Verizon service, and maybe they made a deal with all the
European and international
yeah. So
conglomerate telecoms.
we're gonna reach
Interesting.
a point where we don't need anything.
We're gonna probably reach a point
Don't.
where it's just like considered like a basic human need. And there's
Service.
It's just like it's like water, right? You just maybe pay
We're already there.
like a basic fee, and it applies to everything.
How long would it take for you to not consider your phone if you were to give it up?
What do you mean?
Like, say you give up your phone.
Mm-hmm.
How long before you're okay with that, not having a phone?
Oh, how long to get over it? Oh
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
I could. It would probably be. I'd have to change almost my line of work.
If you if you said this to somebody in the early 2000s or 90s, they would laugh at you.
Mhm.
And that's just
Like,
how
I
far
don't need my
society
phone.
is.
Yeah,
changed.
I would probably have to get a different job, just considering how integrated my phone is with everything.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, that would
I-
be bad. I'd have to change a lot of stuff.
Don't panic me. You're like stressing out.
Grabs his phone. I don't know. Cause I think I'd be okay. I mean, I think I'd miss it, but as far as it's not necessary to my life, like Billy said with his work.
Yeah.
I love it to listen to music, so I guess I'd have to use the radio again in my car and
And inside,
inside.
I gotta go buy a radio. Like,
1057 KOZZ classic rock.
I
coming at
can't even fathom listening to the radio.
I know.
Like that sounds like a nightmare.
you. Let's go to 6 minutes of ads for 3 minutes of song.
Yeah, like everything's censored. There's no. You got the one DJ that talks over the beginning of a song.
Hey guys. Oh yeah, it would suck. I think eventually I'd adapt. I don't know
How
long.
long?
though.
No, no, no.
Probably 2 months.
No fucking way.
In 2 months?
You would super miss it.
Well, like
You'd have to change so much. in
I
your
go
life.
hunting, and we don't really
Your
have
entire
service
dating
out there.
life is online.
Yeah, but you're
currently.
not for 2 months. You're not hunting.
Well, I know, but like when I'm out there, I'm surprised you think it'd be so long. When you go out on the cruise, you can drop it and you're able to live.
It's not that. It's the unwinding of other things that would be such a pain. That would be a constant reminder of like, fuck, that was so. Because it's the devil we already know, right? So I think we would always have like a longing to get back to that state of, man, it was so easy. Whenever I had a question, I could just jam it into my pocket square.
But like depending
get
on
an
the
answer.
situation, I think I'd be able to just move on. Like
No.
if all this, like, what's the reason for me not having my phone?
You would move on, but he's saying like to where you didn't care about it anymore. You didn't think about it. I think that would take years.
I don't think so.
I think it would take years.
What's the situation? What's this imaginary? Is zombie apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse is different.
Yeah.
If you're
There's
life,
an existential crisis going on. Fuck the phone.
yeah. If like
if life went
survival,
on.
if survival depends on you, like if you have bigger things to worry about, like a zombie apocalypse, obviously your phone's gonna be the last of your worries because I imagine they wouldn't work anyways.
Yeah.
But like, say you're like, all right, this year I'm gonna see if I can just
So
go
it's just
6
you.
months, just you.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see
Then
if
that
I-
would suck
I
because
can
you'd
go
have to
6
see it.
months without.
I was more imagining like a scenario where everybody loses their phone.
That's different.
Not apocalyptic, but
if
just
that
like
was-
nobody
yeah.
has a phone. So
Then
it's
that would
not
be the
like I'm
culture.
missing out.
That would only be like a couple weeks then for
Yeah.
me.
Because the
Like-
whole culture would just shift back to people actually talking to each other.
You'd see people.
You'd see
what am
people
I
going out
supposed to do?
front, outside.
Talking.
What? The sky's blue.
Remember when we were kids and like our parents used to just walk outside to talk to neighbors? They're all just chatting.
They would
like,
sit in lawn chairs, watch us play hide and seek.
Yeah, they would all just sit in lawn chairs,
Yeah,
watch us.
we go talk for like 45 to 50 minutes out front.
We do. It's true. We're not that different.
Dylan, where can people find us?
Oh, we're just ending it right
We're
there.
ending it on we're old.
We're
old
alright.
and uncool.
It's obvious.
All
we're
right.
old.
Well, they can find us on Instagram, YouTube, any podcast listening platform such as Spotify, Podcast Addict, anything you listen to your podcasts on. Or hopefully you're
Don't
listening
forget
to us.
Deezer.
Deezer is the most important one.
Cracked podcast, pod cracked addict.
Buzz
Crack addict.
Buzzsprout.
Do not look that up.
Don't know. No, that's not advice. Don't look that up.
Big
be a rehab
Booty
video.
Podcast.
It might be a rehab like website.
Did you say
Crack addict?
Did you
Web.com.
say Big Booty Podcast?
Yeah, Big Booty Podcast.
That's the best one.
BBP.
A lot of growth on that site.
BBP. Those last few
Oh.
ones are fake.
All
Don't
right.
go there. But yeah, you can go find us there where we post regular weekly episodes on Tuesday night or depending what time zone you're in, Wednesday morning.
Yep.
All right. With a good KD, you get the dub.